Well, good morning, loved ones. I'm going to jump forward in the book of Hebrews to Hebrews chapter 12, verses 1 and 2. There, its author encourages his readers, you and I today, to turn our back on sin and to run with endurance the race of faith that has been set before us. And he encourages us to do it this way, to do so looking to Jesus, the author and the finisher of our faith, the founder and the perfecter of our faith. And this is a passage that is probably very familiar to every single one of us. And the question to me this morning comes, okay, it's a very beautiful verse and it's encouraging and it kind of gets our juices flowing, but how does one actually do this? How does one run the race with endurance and look at Jesus while we are doing so? Well, looking to Jesus is actually what gives us the ability to run with endurance. But when we look to Jesus, how does that actually work? Well, it works this way. While we look to Jesus, we think about him. We consider who he is, which is what we're going to be doing in the months that we are in the book of Hebrews. On Sunday, we looked at Hebrews chapter 1. And I happened to notice that sometime yesterday, Brian Boswell posted on our Calvary Facebook page his time of looking to Jesus from Hebrews chapter 1. I don't know when he did it. Maybe he did it Sunday afternoon after church or yesterday morning because it was posted sometime later in the day. And as he went through Hebrews chapter 1, which was the text for Sunday's message, he came up with basically a 12-point outline about Jesus. And let me just share that with you. Jesus is better, the series of our title of our series, because, one, he's the Son of God, and he has verses there. Because, two, he is the heir of all things. Because he is the creator of the world, because he is God's radiant light, because he is the image of God, because he is the sustainer of the universe, because he is the high priest of perfection, because he is superior to angels, because he is the exalted king, because he is the Lord of righteousness, because he is the eternal one, and number 12, because he is the ultimate conqueror, which he attributes to verse 13. And as I was looking through that earlier today, I happened to remember a series of sermons that I kind of perused in my preparation time, and I went back to discover where that was, and this particular preacher had broken down Hebrews chapter 1, and he came up with a 15-point two-part series. And from his notes, which is very similar to Brian's, here's what he tells us. Remember, if we want to run the race with endurance, we're looking to Jesus, and as we look to Jesus, we think about, we meditate upon these things. We consider these things, that Jesus is the revelation of God, that Jesus is the Son of God, that Jesus is the rightful owner of everything, that Jesus is the creator and sustainer of the universe, that Jesus is the radiance of the glory of God, that Jesus is the remedy for sin, that Jesus is our priest king, that Jesus is better, that Jesus is the Messiah, that Jesus is the Son of David, that Jesus is worthy of praise, that Jesus is God, that Jesus is a righteous ruler, that Jesus is everlasting, and that Jesus is enthroned eternally forever in heaven. And if we are to slow down our lives from time to time, which we actually ought to do on a regular basis and not from time to time, think about Jesus, specifically that he is all these things and more. We will find that we get our second breath as we run the race that God has placed before us with endurance. We will pursue this beautiful one, Jesus Christ, who is better, even as we have our backs turned to sin and we are running with endurance the race that is set before him. So loved ones, may this week you run well. And may you do so because you're not looking at different things that are going on around you, but you're looking to Jesus, the founder and the perfecter of your faith. God bless. Have a great week.